go over 4 of the basic questionnaire types: the scale, the get value, the record message, and the slider. And again, when you're doing a questionnaire, anytime you're not sure, you're doing something new, go home, go to questionnaire, create one, and you're starting a new questionnaire. You're going to start at the plus sign in the middle of the atom. Again, these are basic questions. I'm going to start with the get value. And basically, the get value is just what it says. You're going to be getting a value. The value could be coming in the form of a numeric value of choice. It could be a date, a phone number, a zip code, and a birth date. And if it's one of these predefined fields, you'll see that the min and max characters are filled in automatically. You also have the ability, if you use the Advanced tab, it gives you the ability to choose from the core or if there's an attribute. So if you wanted to choose an attribute that's numeric, again, if you are choosing from the default value and there is information in the database, it will pre-populate the answer. In this case, I am just going to ask a basic question. I want the min and the max to be 4, and I am just going to ask them what year they were born. Again, when you are renaming your label at the top here, you cannot start with a number. You cannot use spaces, but you could use underscores if you wanted to. That's your get value. Close to your get value is your record message. And in all honesty, you could also use your record message as a get value. You will see some of the same information there, such as zip code, birth date, but you will see some more, such as email address. So if you're using this for an email address, there is some validation set in that is looking for something at something dot something, but this is also basically used for open text, which is what I'm going to use it for. There is a minimum value and a maximum value. I would recommend changing both. The minimum value is set to 0, which again, if you went through the multi-response, setting anything to 0 means that they have the ability to skip the question. So you want to at least change it to 1. And depending on what type of question you're asking, I would recommend changing it to a higher number. If you're asking a first name, some people do go by a first initial, so maybe 1 character is fine. I'm going to ask for a favorite city, so I'm going to at least change it to 2. And I'm going to change the maximum value to 50. So I'm going to ask, what is your favorite city? And again, up here, I'm going to come and change the name of my label. Over here, you'll notice too that I have the ability to change the information here as well if I did find I had a typo or wanted to change the question. Back to our basic questions. Now we have the scale and the slider. And you'll notice that they're very similar, that the scale is has multiple values that they can choose from, and the slider is basically a scale. And it's just using a different way to look at it. So I'm actually going to use the same question. I'm just going to do it a little bit differently. How much do you like I saw this used in one of our examples with spaghetti, but I'll be honest with you, I don't like nor can I spell spaghetti. And I'm going to do underscore scale, and I'm going to do starting with, now just like with our get response, I'm sorry, with our get response or multi-response, we have the ability here to paste in choices if you have it. So if somebody gave you a Word document with many choices, you could paste it in, or if you wanted to, you could just come here and type it in as well. I could spell too. Okay. If I wanted to, I could remove love it, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do the insert. And then I'm going to save this. And then we're going to do the scale last. And again, it's basic questions. I'm sorry, the slider. I should have copied the question. Actually, I'm going to. So I'm going to do a minimum value, a maximum value, and the step. And it does have to be a whole number for the step. And I'm just going to do on a scale of 1 to 5. Actually, how much do you like pasta? And I'm going to save it now. Okay, now again, we have our get value, our record message, our scale, and the scale right now we have as a drop down. We can make it horizontal or vertical as well. And actually I'm going to make that one horizontal, and then we have our slider. So let's actually just take a look at these using our preview. Anybody who knows me knows I lie about my age. So here again is your horizontal. As somebody told me, it goes with the horizon. And here's your slider. So again, it's the same type of question. It's just a different way. This is kind of a fun way to look at it. And if you're asking different questions, it's a way to just mix it up for your panelists. Now, just in case you didn't know, every time you do a preview, it does actually create a new study. So let's just go and search for studies. And you'll see it'll be underscore test. It does also create panelists too. And in this case, I've used this study before, this questionnaire before, just so you know. So it's going to have different compiles to it. So I'm going to look at my view collected responses. I'm just going to look at the last one with you. And I am going to look at the view answer text. So when we're talking about looking at the renaming your labels, you could see that this makes it a little bit different. So I don't have to look at what this is to know what number 4 is. I know exactly what the question is right here. So that's why I do recommend that changing your labels. Again, they can't start with a number, and you can use an underscore but not a space. Even though it looks like there's a space here, there is actually an underscore. If we look at the questionnaire itself, you'll see that there's underscores in there, not spaces. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions regarding any of this, please contact ARCS support. Thanks and have a great day.